While we have a bit of downtime here at camp, I thought let me just run you through all the gear we use for the Ironman adventures and all the workshop build videos. I'm going to start off by saying the GH5 is the main camera we use. It's quite old already, so the reason we stick to these cameras is because they've got amazing stabilizers. And the internal slow-mo of these cameras are incredible. It does shoot 4 to 210-bit 4K. It's incredible cameras, we really love them. The grading possibilities afterwards as well are really cool. I don't know what we're going to upgrade to when we don't use these cameras anymore, but they've been amazing to us. And that's the two reasons we use these cameras, is the slow motion and the stabilizer. Low light capability is not that great, but luckily we've got fast lenses. So speaking about fast lenses, this is the 18-35 Sigma Art. This is the lens we use most of the time. It's a very cool lens. The glass is amazing. It is a f1.8, 18-35 millimeters, and then we use a Metabones speed booster for the GH5 because the GH5 actually has a micro four third sensor, so it uses micro four third lenses, and you need a speed booster or a converter to put onto that to use Canon glass. And we've recently moved to Canon glass because it kind of future-proofs you a little bit. These lenses are amazing. It's nice and fast, 1.8. I would say the sweet spot of this lens would be f2. With the speed booster, you can actually gain an extra stop with the GH5. So it goes down to 1.1. So if you really need that 1.1 and you've got a bit of a low light situation, you can use it very nicely. Very close up, out of focus, background stuff, beautiful depth of field these things give. I love these Sigmas. The other lens we actually use quite often is this little Laowa lens. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It's a micro four thirds lens, so it goes on directly. It's a native lens to the GH5. It's a 7.5 millimeters, which actually becomes a 14 millimeter or 15 millimeter on the GH5. It's a f2 lens, so it's nice and fast. And the biggest compliment this lens has is it does not distort. It actually doesn't give you that fisheye a lot of the wide lenses have. It's a very natural lens to look at because it's very close to your eyes. So I would say it's a very relaxing lens to use. It also gives you a broad overview of your picture. So at campsites, we would normally do star lapses or time lapses with this lens because it gives the whole picture of it. It's nice and fast, it's beautiful for star lapses, filming stars. It's a great lens, we love this lens. Then we love going to game parks, love filming animals, checking their behaviors, and you need a nice long lens. So this is the 150-600 Sigma Sport lens. You do get the contemporary lens of this one, but this one is a tad better glass, and it's also very heavy. It's much heavier than the contemporary. We've been using this lens for long, and on the GH5 you actually get a bit of an extra reach on it. So the 150-600 would probably be around 1,000 millimeters. I'm not exactly sure, so don't quote me on that, but we get nice and close to the animals. We love this lens. We film the moon often with it. Gives a beautiful moon shot. Then it's got an internal stabilizer on the lens. I do not like the stabilizer. It's a bit jerky for me, so we actually put it off and we use the internal stabilizer of the GH5. The 150 millimeters is just a tad too close. I would like to be a little bit wider, but I mean, once you're full out to that 600, you get the most amazing shots, and it's very sharp. It's a f5, so it's not great with low light, but any long lens you wouldn't really get a fast lens. So the zoom lenses, they tend to have a bit of a higher f-stop. This is a Canon lens, which means we need to use a speed booster on it, which again gives us an extra stop. So we love this lens. This is not ours, we wish it was, but these lenses are very expensive, so we hire them in. Then the other camera I would like to talk about is the GoPro. We all know GoPros. This is the GoPro 9. The new image quality and the stabilization of this camera is incredible. We've recently put the Media Mod on it, and what the Media Mod basically does is it's got a small microphone that plugs into the GoPro to just give you that extra bit of better quality of audio. Because we use the GoPro for run and gun stuff, you want to talk into it vlog style, we got this Media Mod to use it, so it works brilliantly. Then on the GoPro we've got this RAM mount. I only use this RAM mount. You've got GoPro mounts, they're incredible, they work very well, but these RAM mounts are awesome. It hasn't failed on me once, and I like this arm where you can adjust it just the way you like it when you stick it on the back of the car. So we use it often for outside shots of the Ironman. But one tip I would suggest is if you do put your GoPro on strange angles, strap them and make sure they don't get loose, because I've lost 2 GoPros. With the one I actually drove over while trying to get a suspension shot. The other one we lost in the Orange River. So make sure when you do that, those intricate shots on your car on the outside, or when you're on the river or swimming, even diving, strap it to your hand or strap it to the vehicle itself. Do not lose it. You can just ask me. It's not nice losing a new GoPro. The other thing I wanted to speak about is this ND filter. We use ND filters quite a lot, especially because we're out and about in the bush and your afternoon sun is so bright, you would need an ND filter. So ND filter is like sunglasses. It just gives you a bit more room to play with when it's really bright outside. I would suggest also getting a polarizer to put onto your lens so it actually doesn't scratch your lens. So put on your polarizer. You also get rotating polarizers, which is very nice. You get a bit of, if you have a subject that's got a bit of glare or something on their forehead, or the car has a bit of glare, you actually rotate that polarizer, and they call it biting, and you can actually remove that. So I would highly suggest a polarizer and then an ND filter. Get yourself an ND filter when you're shooting out and about. When you're shooting low light stuff, you don't really need one. And that's basically the rundown of all our gear. Like I said, the GH5 is our baby. We love it to death, and the Sigma 18-35, this lens over here, is our main lens, and that's what we shoot a lot of the stuff with. And yeah, that's basically how we get our pictures for the Ironman adventures and the workshop videos.